My mom had promised me some time off to recover, but at the airport, my sister handed me the keys to a minivan packed with kids. "We're heading to Paris," she said. "You'll handle it, Liam." I made one phone call, and within minutes, their cheerful smiles completely disappeared. The first thing I heard wasn't shouting, it was Rowan's laugh. Sharp, cruel, the kind that stings even before the words hit. Well. "If it isn't the family parasite," she said, wine glass tilted in my direction. "Perfect timing, Liam. We were just talking about how you managed to ruin everything without even trying." My father, Calder, didn't look up from his plate. "Rowan, enough!" But his tone wasn't defense. It was weariness, as if agreeing. "He's here now. Let's just move on." "Move on," Rowan scoffed. "He's been a problem since day one. Always silent, always sulking, always waiting for someone else to clean up after him. Tell me, Liam, do you practice being useless, or does it come naturally?" Marin sat with his arms crossed, eyes fixed on the table, tapping his foot so hard the leg shook. My mother, Alara, dabbed her eyes with a tissue, her silence as sharp as the insults. I stayed standing, watching, listening. They thought my silence was weakness, that I'd swallow every word like I always did. Rowan leaned forward, grin widening. "Say something, won't you? Or are you still too scared of your own shadow?" I didn't flinch, just said, low and steady. "Funny. You're awfully loud for someone with so much to hide." The smirk slipped right off her face. The room went still. "My name's Liam Rourke, 26. The quiet son. The background character in my own family. They used me like a tool. Blamed me like a punching bag. And every time I stayed quiet. But silence isn't peace. It's a loaded gun. I've watched them twist stories, rewrite history, feed each other lies until they believed them. And I never corrected it. Never defended myself. Because the truth I carry is heavier than all their accusations combined. A truth they're not ready for. Rowan thought she could keep painting me as the family disgrace, but I knew something she didn't. Tonight, I wasn't leaving this house as their scapegoat. Family members introduced. Rowan, 30, sharp-tongued, polished on the outside, rotten underneath. She cut people down like it kept her alive. Calder, my father, 60, stubborn as stone, dismissive of me since I could walk. Always saw me as a failure, never as a son. Alara, my mother, late 50s, fragile, quiet, but not innocent. Her silence was her shield, and she used it to keep her hands clean. Marin, 23, restless, bitter, eyes that never stopped moving. The only one who ever watched me like he knew what I was hiding. The dinner table wasn't dinner. It was a stage. Rowan interrupted everyone, voice sharp enough to draw blood. My father waved me off mid-sentence like I wasn't worth air. My mother kept whispering, "Please don't fight," while doing nothing to stop it. And Marin, he tapped and tapped, finally muttering, "You're not telling the whole story, Rowan." That flicker in her eyes, the tiny crack in her mask, told me enough. She was hiding something. Rowan threw papers across the table. "The loan is in his name, Liam's name. You expect me to believe he didn't screw this up?" I looked at the documents. My name, bold on every line. I hadn't touched them. "Don't act surprised," Calder muttered. "You've always been careless," Alara whispered. "Maybe it was a mistake." "Mistake?" Rowan cut her off. "He's been a mistake since birth." The words landed heavy. I didn't move, didn't blink, because I recognized something in her voice. Panic. I'd seen this before. The deflection, the lies, the way she over-explained when guilt was nipping at her heels. Then she slipped. "You don't know what I had to do to keep this family afloat." Her glass rattled as she set it down. Alara's face drained of color. I filed it away. That line would bury her later. Rowan versus Calder. Calder versus Alara. Alara begging for peace. Marin stuck between silence and explosions. And me, standing there, calm, cold. You've always been jealous, Rowan spat at me. Because I actually made something of myself. You're just bitter you'll never measure up. I stepped forward. My voice carried this time. You think this is about money? No. It's about what you all did to me. The shift was instant. My calmness made them nervous. Even Calder finally looked at me. Not like a son, not like a failure, but like something dangerous. 3 years ago, the hospital reeked of bleach. My hands still shook from signing the withdrawal slips. Every cent of my college savings, gone. Rowan's emergency. Rowan's crying promises. I'll pay you back, Liam. I swear. You're saving me. Calder clapped my back. That's my boy stepping up for family. Alara kissed my forehead. We'll never forget this. But they did. Within weeks, they forgot. I walked home with nothing, chest hollow. Marin was the only one who noticed. He watched me. Quiet. Heavy. And now, 3 years later, he wouldn't meet my eyes. Which meant one thing. He knew more than he ever said. Rowan cracked first. You want the truth? She screamed. Fine! I forged his signature. I took the loan. I kept the money because if I didn't, this whole family would have collapsed. Alara's sobs broke loose. Calder cursed. But I stayed still. Do you think this surprises me? I said, voice like a blade. I've known all along. I was just waiting for you to say it out loud. Rowan's face drained. She realized the trap. I hadn't been silent because I was weak. I'd been silent because I was waiting. The house dissolved. Calder shouted. Alara begged. Rowan screamed. And Marin finally spoke. He's telling the truth. I saw her do it. I didn't say anything because no one listens to me either. Rowan spun on him, betrayal in her eyes. But it was too late. I dropped the folder on the table. Copies of everything. The forged signatures, the hidden accounts, every receipt of her lies. I gave you all my silence, I said. Tonight, I give you the truth. Their world collapsed in one breath. I walked past the wreckage. Broken plates, spilled wine, shredded papers. Rowan screamed after me, but her voice was small now. Powerless. Alara clutched my wrist. Liam, wait. Please, we didn't know. I looked down at her hand, fragile, shaking. No, you never wanted to know. At the door, Marin whispered, Thank you. 2 words that carried more weight than the whole night. And then I stepped into the cold night air, finally free. Weeks later, I stood by the river. The city hummed awake. The phone never rang. No messages. And for once, silence was peace. They would never see me the same again, and I didn't need them to. I exhaled, long, steady. The air tasted clean. For the first time, I didn't carry their weight anymore. Revenge wasn't over. Healing wasn't complete. But both had finally begun. Sometimes the only way to be heard is to stop being silent. If you were in my place, would you forgive them, or would you walk away forever? Tell me in the comments. Your voice matters here. Subscribe for more stories that cut deep, like if you felt Liam's silence break into strength. Comment your thoughts, because healing begins when stories are shared.